Hello everyone and welcome to the Victory Forge. Today I'm going to show you how I made a fairy garden pot for one of the bonsai trees I got out of this bonsai starter kit I purchased from my local craft store. As you can see, the kit comes with everything you need to plant 4 different kinds of bonsai trees. The first step was to take the seeds and let them soak for 24 hours prior to planting them. I'm going to plant all 4 kinds of seeds, but for my fairy garden pot, I'm going to use the Blue Jacaranda. For the fairy garden, I'm going to print a door, a window, some paving stones, a few trellises and fences, and the fairy Luna herself. I printed these files from Thingiverse on my FlashForge Inventor printer using white 1.75mm PLA filament. While that's printing, I'm going to prepare the planter. The first time I didn't get the shape I was looking for, so the second time I used an X-Acto knife to carve the proper 2-level step that I was looking for. After sanding and priming, I used a stone texture spray paint to give the planter a more natural look. Instead of dealing with this hockey puck of dirt, I went and purchased a bag of organic potting mix. I also needed the extra amount to fill the larger planters, and the kit came with enough seeds to fill 6 different planters based on the recommended amount of seeds in the instruction guide. Using the provided bamboo markers, I labeled each of my pots and included the date on which I sowed the seeds for the trees. After printing had finished, I delicately removed them from their rafts and cleaned up any of the lines from the support on the structures. Now, I did not like the way the fairy turned out, so I restarted the print as shown in its entirety here. And here we see a freed Luna ready to make some magic happen in this garden. After having plotted the layout of the garden and cleaned up all the pieces, I gave them a primer and then a base coat in their primary color. Before I can finish and assemble the fairy garden, I actually need to plant the seeds for the trees I hope to grow in these different planters. With the seeds planted, my next step was to use this variety-colored moss and a few fake flowers to give the fairy garden some color that will hopefully match the blue jacaranda tree that I hope to grow in this pot. My next step was to paint all of the wood accent pieces using a light to dark painting scheme to give the implication that the wood pieces are still alive in the interior. Next, I painted the door frame and window frame using a granite texture gray paint, and I painted the inside of the windows and the handles using a glossy yellow. For Luna's textured wings, both front and back, I used a Christmas green metallic paint. I then used some metallic purple to outline and give a few details to her wings. And I finished Luna's painting with a green dress, some natural buff, some milk chocolate hair, and a few blue glow-in-the-dark dots to finish her wings. On the door and window, I drew in some brick lines and then glued on a little bit of green flock to give it a mossy, overgrown texture. Next, I found a piece of clear plastic from my scrap box and cut it to size to make some window panes. After all the pieces were painted, I gave them a matte clear coat, and then I took my paving stones and superglued some staples to the bottom of all the paving stones to help keep them in place and to help secure all of the moss into the pot. With that finished, I can begin the final assembly of Luna's fairy garden. With the tree planted and the garden ready, the last thing to do is to help Luna move into her new home and take a few glamour shots. With the fairy garden complete, that's going to be everything here today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on The Victory Forge.